Welcome to Bible Quizzes. Today's quiz is all about Bible geography. Are you ready? Let's begin. 1. What was the name of the valley where David fought Goliath? Jezreel, Elah, Achor, Kidron. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Elah, 1 Samuel 17:2. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah and set the battle in array against the Philistines. 2. Where was Joash assassinated? House of Milo, Palace Garden, Temple Courts, Achor. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is the house of Milo, 2 Kings 12:20. And his servants arose and made a conspiracy, and slew Joash in the house of Milo, which goeth down to Silla. 3. Which river did Jesus cross when people came to him for baptism? Nile, Euphrates, Jordan, Tigris. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jordan, Matthew 3:6, and were baptized of him in Jordan, confessing their sins. 4. Which city was known as the city of palm trees? Jericho, Hebron, Bethel, Nazareth. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jericho, Deuteronomy 34:3, and the south and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, unto Zor. 5. On which mountain did Elijah challenge the prophets of Baal? Mount Tabor, Mount Nebo, Mount Sinai, Mount Carmel. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Mount Carmel, 1 Kings 18:19. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. 6. Which sea did Moses part when leading the Israelites out of Egypt? Dead Sea, Red Sea, Sea of Galilee, Mediterranean. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Red Sea, Exodus 14:21. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. 7. Where was Jesus born? Nazareth, Bethlehem, Jerusalem, Capernaum. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Bethlehem, Luke 2:4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. 8. What city did Cain build? Nod, Enoch, Babel. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Enoch, Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch, and he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. 9. In which city did Jonah preach after being swallowed by a great fish? Babylon, Nineveh, Susa, Damascus. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Nineveh, Jonah 3:3. So Jonah arose and went unto Nineveh according to the word of the Lord. Now Nineveh was an exceeding great city of 3 days' journey. 10. Which mountain did Moses ascend to view the promised land before he died? Mount Ararat, Mount Sinai, Mount Nebo, Mount Mabu. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Mount Nebo, Deuteronomy 34:1. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto the mountain of Nebo to the top of Pisgah, that is over against Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead unto Dan. 11. Where did Jesus turn water into wine? Capernaum, Cana, Nazareth, Bethsaida. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Cana, John 2:1. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. 12. What body of water did Jesus walk on? Jordan River, Sea of Galilee, Red Sea, Dead Sea. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Sea of Galilee, Matthew 14:25. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. 13. What city was the Apostle Paul from? Corinth, Tarsus, Ephesus, Rome. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Tarsus, Acts 22:3. I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward God, as ye all are this day. 14. Which island was Paul shipwrecked on? Cyprus, Crete, Malta, Patmos. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Malta, Acts 28:1. And when they were escaped, then they knew that the island was called Melita. 15. What city was known as the City of David? Jerusalem, Hebron, Bethlehem, Samaria. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jerusalem, 2 Samuel 5:7. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same is the city of David. 16. Which mountain is associated with Jesus' Sermon on the Mount? Moriah, Olivet, Gerizim, Beatitudes. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Beatitudes, Matthew 5:1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him. 17. What city was destroyed by fire and brimstone due to its wickedness? Babylon, Sodom, Nineveh, Jericho. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Sodom, Genesis 19:24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. 18. What does 2 Kings 5:14 say about the Jordan River? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it was where Naaman was healed of leprosy, 2 Kings 5:14. Then when he went down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. 19. What was the first city conquered by the Israelites in the Promised Land? Jericho, Ai, Hebron, Bethel. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jericho, Joshua 6:20. So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him. 20. On which island was John when he received the revelation? Crete, Cyprus, Malta, Patmos. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Patmos, Revelation 1:9. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation and in the kingdom and patience of Jesus Christ, was in the isle that is called Patmos for the word of God and for the testimony of Jesus Christ. 21. Which river flowed out of Eden and divided into four rivers? Jordan, Euphrates, Nile, Pishon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Pishon, Genesis 2:10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. 22. Where did Jesus meet the Samaritan woman at the well? Sychar, Nazareth, Capernaum, Bethsaida. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Sychar, John 4:5-6. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. 23. Which mountain did Noah's ark rest upon? Sinai, Ararat, Carmel, Hermon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Ararat, Genesis 8:4, and the ark rested in the seventh month on the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat. 24. What city did God send Abraham to sacrifice Isaac? Hebron, Bethel, Jerusalem, Beersheba. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jerusalem, Genesis 22:2. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. 25. What city was the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel? Jerusalem, Samaria, Hebron, Shechem. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Samaria, 1 Kings 16:24. And he bought the hill Samaria of Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shemer, owner of the hill, Samaria. 26. What was the home city of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus? Capernaum, Bethany, Jericho, Bethlehem. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Bethany, John 11:1. Now a certain man was sick, named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. 27. Where did Elijah flee to after confronting Ahab? Mount Sinai, Brook Cherith, Valley of Kidron, Enochius. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Brook Cherith, 1 Kings 17:3. Get thee hence and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the Brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. 28. Which city was known for its famous temple to the goddess Diana or Artemis? Corinth, Ephesus, Philippi, Thessalonica. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Ephesus, Acts 19:27, so that not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worshipeth. 29. What does 1 Kings 18:19 say about Mount Carmel? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it was where Elijah confronted the prophets of Baal. 1 Kings 18:19. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. 30. What was the name of the well where Hagar encountered an angel of the Lord? Beer Lahai En Rogel, Jacob's Well, Gihon Spring. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Bir Lahai Genesis 16:14. Wherefore the well was called Bir Lahai Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. 31. What was the capital city of the Assyrian Empire that Jonah visited? Babylon, Nineveh, Susa. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Nineveh. Jonah 1:2. Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for the wickedness is come up before me. 32. Which mountain was considered the dwelling place of God in the Old Testament? Moriah, Sinai, Zion, Hermon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Sinai, Exodus 19:20. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. 33. What was the city of refuge east of the Jordan River? Hebron, Bezer, Shechem, Kadesh. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Bezer, Joshua 28. And on the other side, Jordan by Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness upon the plain out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. 34. Where did Jesus ascend into heaven? Mount of Olives, Mount Carmel, Mount Tabor, Mount Zion. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Mount of Olives, Acts 1:12. Then returned they unto Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a Sabbath day's journey. 35. What body of water turned to blood in one of the plagues of Egypt? Jordan River, Nile River, Red Sea, Dead Sea. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Nile River, Exodus 7:20. And Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded, and he lifted up the rod, and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. 36. What region was home to the Philistines? Moab, Canaan, Philistia, Gilead. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Philistia, 1 Samuel 6:17. And these are the golden emeralds which the Philistines returned for a trespass offering unto the Lord, for Ashdod 1, for Gaza, for Askelon, for Gath, for Ekron. 37. What mountain did Jesus take Peter, James, and John up for the Transfiguration? Mount Tabor, Mount Hermon, Mount Moriah, Mount Zion. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Mount Tabor, Matthew 17:1-2. And after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. 38. Which valley is associated with the final battle of Armageddon? Hinnom, Jehoshaphat, Jezreel, Elah. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jezreel, Revelation 16:16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. 39. Where was Paul imprisoned before being sent to Rome? Ephesus, Jerusalem, Caesarea, Corinth. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Caesarea, Acts 23:33, who, when they came to Caesarea and delivered the epistle to the governor, presented Paul also before him. 40. Where did Abraham bury Sarah? Cave of Machpelah, Valley of Achor, Tomb of the Patriarchs, Bethel. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Cave of Machpelah, Genesis 23:19. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. 41. What city did Paul receive a vision to travel to and preach? Antioch, Rome, Troas, Macedonia. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Macedonia, Acts 16:9. And a vision appeared to Paul in the night. There stood a man in Macedonia and prayed him, saying, "Come over into Macedonia and help us." 42. What city did Jesus weep over? Bethlehem, Capernaum, Jerusalem, Nazareth. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jerusalem, Luke 19:41. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it. 43. Where did Moses strike the rock to bring forth water? Mount Sinai, Rephidim, Kadesh, Horeb. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Horeb, Exodus 17:6. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. 44. What was known as the Queen of the South and home to the famous queen who visited Solomon? Tyre, Sheba, Sidon, Babylon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Sheba, 1 Kings 10:1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. 45. What does Matthew 16:13 say about Caesarea Philippi? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it was where Jesus asked his disciples about his identity. Matthew 16:13. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" 46. What city was Peter in when he had his vision of the sheet filled with unclean animals? Antioch, Joppa, Caesarea, Lydda. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Joppa, Acts 10:9-10. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. 47. Where did Paul shipwreck on his way to Rome? Cyprus, Canaan, Malta, Crete. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Malta, Acts 27:41. And falling into a place where two seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart stuck fast and remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. 48. What region was known as the land of milk and honey? Moab, Egypt, Canaan, Midian. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Canaan, Exodus 3:8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites. 49. What city was known for its wickedness and was prophesied to be swallowed by the sea? Tyre, Nineveh, Babylon, Sodom. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Tyre, Ezekiel 26:19. For thus saith the Lord God, when I shall make thee a desolate city, like the cities that are not inhabited, when I shall bring up the deep upon thee, and great waters shall cover thee. 50. Which city was destroyed by an earthquake while Paul and Silas were imprisoned there? Philippi, Ephesus, Corinth, Rome. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Philippi, Acts 16:26. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed. 51. What was the hometown of the prophet Nahum? Capernaum, Nineveh, Bethel, Elkosh. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Elkosh, Nahum 1:1, the burden of Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. 52. Where was Jesus crucified? Mount Zion, Golgotha, Mount of Olives, Kidron Valley. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Golgotha, Matthew 27:33. And when they were come unto a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull. 53. Where was the Tower of Babel built? Babylon, Nineveh, Sumer. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Babylon, Genesis 11:4. And they said, Go, to let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. 54. What does Mark 4:39 say about the Sea of Galilee? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it was where Jesus calmed the storm, Mark 4:39. And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. 55. Where did Jacob have his dream of the ladder reaching to heaven? Bethel, Beersheba, Peniel, Shechem. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Bethel, Genesis 28:12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. 56. What was the original name of the city of Jerusalem before David conquered it? Salem, Jebus, Zion, Gibeon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jebus, Judges 19:10. But the men would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem. And there were with him 2 asses saddled, his concubine also was with him. 57. What city did Jesus call the city of the great king? Bethlehem, Nazareth, Capernaum, Jerusalem. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jerusalem, Matthew 5:35. Nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. 58. Which city was known for its bronze and copper trade in the Old Testament? Tyre, Sidon, Tarshish, Ezion-Geber. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Ezion-Geber, 1 Kings 9:26. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom. 59. In which city were the followers of Jesus first called Christians? Jerusalem, Antioch, Rome, Ephesus. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Antioch, Acts 11:26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church, and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. 60. Which city did Philip preach to after meeting the Ethiopian eunuch? Samaria, Caesarea, Lydda, Azotus. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Azotus, Acts 8:40. But Philip was found at Azotus, and passing through he preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea. 61. Which city did God destroy along with Sodom? Gomorrah, Zor, Hebron, Bethel. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Gomorrah, Genesis 19:24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. 62. What river did the Israelites cross to enter the Promised Land? Nile, Jordan, Euphrates, Tigris. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jordan, Joshua 3:17. And the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan, and all the Israelites passed over on dry ground until all the people were passed clean over Jordan. 63. What city was home to Lydia, the seller of purple? Troas, Philippi, Thyatira, Ephesus. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Thyatira, Acts 16:14. And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple of the city of Thyatira, which worshipped God, heard us, whose heart the Lord opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul. 64. What city was Jonah fleeing from when he boarded a ship to Tarshish? Ephesus, Antioch, Joppa, Philippi. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Joppa, Jonah 1:3. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa. And he found a ship going to Tarshish, so he paid the fare thereof, and went out into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. 65. Where did Gideon defeat the Midianites? Jezreel Valley, Valley of Elah, Harod Spring, Mount Gilboa. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Harod Spring, Judges 7:1. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him, rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the hosts of the Midianites were on the north side of them, by the hill of Moreh in the valley. 66. What city was Paul traveling to when he encountered Jesus? Jerusalem, Damascus, Antioch, Tarsus. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Damascus, Acts 9:3. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. 67. What city did God command Joshua and the Israelites to destroy completely, including its king? Ai, Jericho, Gibeon, Hebron. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jericho, Joshua 6:21. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both men and women, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. 68. Which city was Paul's final destination before his execution? Corinth, Ephesus, Rome, Antioch. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Rome, 2 Timothy 4:6. For I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. 69. What valley was associated with child sacrifices to Molech? Elah, Hinnom, Jezreel, Kidron. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Hinnom, Jeremiah 7:31, and they have built the high places of Tophet, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my heart. 70. Which city was the hometown of Goliath? Ekron, Ashkelon, Gath, Gaza. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Gath, 1 Samuel 17:4. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. 71. What city did Paul write his prison epistles from? Philippi, Ephesus, Corinth, Rome. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Rome, Philippians 1:13, so that my bonds in Christ are manifest in all the palace and in all other places. 72. Where did Jesus meet the Samaritan woman at the well? Cana, Nazareth, Sychar, Bethany. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Sychar, John 4:5-6. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. 73. Which river did Naaman wash in to be cleansed of leprosy? Nile, Euphrates, Jordan, Kishon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jordan, 2 Kings 5:10. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. 74. Which city was home to the famous oracle and temple of Apollo in the ancient world? Athens, Corinth, Delphi, Ephesus. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Delphi, not directly in the Bible, but referenced in historical context in Acts 17:16-23, where Paul confronts Greek religious beliefs. 75. What city did Jesus say would be brought down to Hades for rejecting his miracles? Capernaum, Jerusalem, Jericho, Bethsaida. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Capernaum, Matthew 11:23. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. 76. Where did Abraham attempt to sacrifice Isaac? Mount Sinai, Mount Moriah, Mount Nebo, Mount Hermon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Mount Moriah, Genesis 22:2. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee in the land of Moriah, and offer him there for burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. 77. What city was known for its idolatry and had an altar to the unknown god? Ephesus, Athens, Corinth, Rome. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Athens, Acts 17:23. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, To the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. 78. What region did the Philistines inhabit? Negev, Gilead, Shephelah, coastal plains. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is coastal plain, Joshua 13:2-3. This is the land that yet remaineth, all the borders of the Philistines and all Geshuri, from Sihor, which is before Egypt, even unto the borders of Ekron northward, which is counted to the Canaanite, 5 lords of the Philistines. 79. Where was the tabernacle located before Solomon built the temple? Jerusalem, Shiloh, Hebron, Bethel. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Shiloh, Joshua 18:1, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. 80. What city was known as the port of the Gentiles? Tyre, Joppa, Sidon, Caesarea. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Caesarea, Acts 10:1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian Band. And there you have it. How well did you do? Tally your score and post in the comments below. And don't forget to share this quiz with your family and friends. See you in the next one. God bless.